the people.
She reached the whole world.
Out. Go ahead.
No, not beatboxing, the dancing. Have a great weekend. We'll see you. Keeping a close eye on your forecast, and things are nice out there right now. Some possible storms heading into tonight, but improvements for the weekend. You're going to want to spend some time outside. I'll be breaking down all of your forecast details coming up.
Plus, we're following breaking news out of Indonesia this morning. A quarry collapses, killing at least 10 people. What we know straight ahead.
The Senate is now joining the House Oversight Committee, launching a probe into the final months of the Biden presidency. I'm David Spunt in Washington. I've got the details coming up.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. You're watching Fox 10 Midday. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm Jennifer Lambers.
Jen, it's a beautiful Friday out there today, but the weekend will be even better, right?
I'm excited about this forecast. It's something that is looking beautiful. We just have to get through tonight.
Okay.
We're going to be experiencing some more of that little bumpy weather, mainly just some storms that are possible out there. But then heading into tomorrow and Sunday, it's looking great. Yes, let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm tracking across the southeast. And really, those showers that you start to see moving through portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, backing down into Texas, that is going to be that line that we'll be experiencing heading into tonight. But the main takeaway with it, you can start to see that it's not that well organized. It's broken apart a little bit, and that's exactly what it's going to look like as it gets closer towards us. Now, it's mainly going to be late afternoon heading into this evening. Not everywhere is going to be seeing some of those rain showers and those storms heading into tonight. It's going to be a bit more isolated, so don't let that impact your evening plans too much. It's really going to be dependent upon location. Looking at it a little bit closer right now, things are calm and quiet out there. We're seeing some sunshine. It looks beautiful. A little more clouds beginning to make an appearance, but a nice view from our Navigator Credit Union camera at the Battleship. Those winds just out of the west-northwest, a little bit on the breezy side, but it's feeling toasty. We're in the upper 80s, but dew points in the lower 70s, so feeling like 94 out there. Temperatures all across the Gulf Coast right now, just starting to see some of those lower to mid 80s, upper 80s even making an appearance in some spots. But as we get further along into the rest of this afternoon, we'll be maxing out mid to upper 80s, a few isolated lower 90s. But look at that, the feels like temperatures due to that humidity, we're starting to see that gap straying away because of how sticky and muggy it is out there. So feeling more like the lower to mid 90s. Here's what I'm excited about, though. Heading into tomorrow, our rain chances drop. We don't have them for our Saturday, but this is what you're going to be noticing, that drop in humidity. It's going to be feeling pleasant out there. Dew points in the 60s for both Saturday and Sunday. So when you're waking up in the morning, enjoy a cup of coffee outside, have breakfast outside. Just do something to enjoy your mornings when it's really going to be feeling pleasant out there. Our daytime highs also taking a dip. It's going to be feeling great. I'm going to talk more about your forecast and what I'm tracking even heading into next week. All of those details are coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. We begin with global news now. A natural stone quarry collapses in Indonesia, killing at least 10 people. Officials say more than 24 people were trapped in the rubble following a rock collapse at a quarry in the West Java province. As we speak, at least 6 people remain missing. Police say emergency crews, soldiers, and volunteers tried to locate the remaining workers, but the rescue effort was suspended after dark and will resume Saturday. Several excavators and 6 trucks are also being used to help find the missing people. West Java's governor said the site was dangerous and, quote, does not meet safety standards for workers. Now listen to this. A massive sinkhole near a California construction site swallows up multiple cars. The sinkhole opened up in Ventura Thursday, where developers are building an apartment complex. Cars at a neighboring auto repair shop were affected. Now, in a statement, the city said that business and a nearby residential structure were red tagged, which closes the buildings while engineers evaluate the situation. 3 other businesses in that area were deemed safe and remained open. Well, right now, the Senate is joining the House Oversight Committee, launching a probe into the last months of the Biden presidency. Fox News correspondent David Spunt has the details.
The U.S. Senate is now getting in on the investigation into who was calling the shots during the final months of the Biden presidency.
Who is in charge? Whose finger is on the nuclear button or has nuclear codes? Who can declare war? How do we defend the nation when we have basically an absent president? And those are constitutional issues we need to address and correct.
In addition to the House Oversight Committee investigation, the Senate has now launched a probe with a hearing set for June 18th. The White House is accusing former First Lady Dr. Jill Biden of being complicit in covering up her husband's alleged cognitive decline.
She was saying everything is fine. She's still lying to the American people. She still thinks the American public are so stupid that they're going to believe her lies. And frankly, it's insulting, and she needs to answer for it. Attorneys
representing former top aides of President Biden have been in touch with House Oversight Chairman James Comer and his probe on the House side to schedule transcribed interviews. Fox is told subpoenas are not expected today as the conversations continue. Comer and his team are focused on what they consider an alleged abuse of the auto pen during the last months of the Biden White House, which they say could make some actions during that time invalid.
I think they would be null and void. Look, at the end of the day, there's more evidence coming out by the second that would prove that Joe Biden wasn't the one making the decisions during the last 100 days of his administration.
The former first couple has not weighed in on either of the investigations. In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
Last week, President Donald Trump and Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. released the first Make America Healthy Again report. It's a document that outlines health issues the administration wants to address. But on Thursday, the White House said it is working to fix errors that were found in the report. According to an investigation by news organization Notice, out of more than 500 studies cited in the report, 7 did not appear to have ever been published.
I understand there were some formatting issues with the MAHA report that are being addressed, and the report will be updated, but it does not negate the substance of the report, which, as you know, is one of the most transformative health reports that has ever been released by the federal government and is backed on good science that has never been recognized by the federal government.
The MAHA report is meant to help the Trump administration develop future policy recommendations. And new this morning, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall has announced his bid for U.S. Senate. He's vying for the Senate seat that would be vacated by Senator Tommy Tuberville, who is running for governor. Marshall is currently in his second term as Attorney General. During his tenure, Marshall's administration has been heavily involved in state policy, promoting legislation to bolster punishment for violent crimes. Now, Marshall announced his intentions to run through a video call called Alabama Strong, highlighting his accomplishments and relationship with the Trump administration.
We need to make sure that we have common sense economic policies that matter in a way that we allow our markets to work, allow businesses to be able to thrive, and in that way, it helps every community across our country.
Alabama's 2 U.S. Senate seats were held for decades by Republican Senators Richard Shelby and Jeff Sessions. The primary election for this U.S. Senate race is scheduled for May 26 of next year. Well, it's the building where lawmakers make important decisions that impact you. Alabama's State House will soon be demolished and replaced by a new facility. Patrick Harris, Secretary of the Alabama Senate, has been there every step of the way as a new State House was developed and for the start of construction last year. We're told the new building will allow for new technology, which the current State House, built in the 1960s, doesn't have the capability to support.
We've increased the size, increased the capabilities of committee rooms, the chambers, the offices, so that committees can be streamed live while they're going on.
Construction, we're told, is on schedule for the project, and it is expected to be completed in 2026. The first regular legislative session will be held in the new building in 2027. Well, right now, a fervent search continues for the suspect in a deadly shooting. Bay Minette police say 28-year-old Decarius Andrews is wanted for murder, and he's considered armed and dangerous. Investigators say officers last saw Andrews running from the scene of a large party where the shooting happened a week ago. The victim, identified as 21-year-old Durante Booker. Investigators say Booker and Andrews knew each other and that it was a targeted attack. If you have any information on this shooting or you know where Andrews is, call Bay Minette Police right away. And we're also learning a lot more about a deadly shooting over in Citronelle. It happened after a graduation party 2 weeks ago. Investigators say 19-year-old Jaylon Rivers was killed at the scene, and Zachary Morgan, a former Citronelle football player, was hurt. At this time, 2 suspects are in Mobile County Metro Jail in connection to the shooting. Police say 19-year-old Gadrick Overstreet is charged with first-degree felony murder, attempted murder, and robbery. And they say a 17-year-old is facing felony murder and robbery charges as well. Now, court documents show the 2 suspects were trying to steal a diamond necklace from Morgan when bullets started flying. But Mobile County Sheriff Paul Birch told us investigators believed it started with another argument, even before the suspects tried to take Morgan's necklace. Well, still a lot to discuss on Fox 10 Midday. Red snapper season is officially underway, and new research shows the population is healthy. Also,
teeing off for a good cause. We're here at a charity golf tournament. I'll tell you all about it and what it's supporting coming up.
And also taking another look at your forecast, a live view outside down on Dauphin Island. It is beautiful out there. Some calm water and a nice breeze, plenty of sunshine, and we could potentially see one isolated thunderstorm heading later on into this afternoon. The chances are there once again today, but I'll be talking more about that in your future cast and what I'm looking at for the entire weekend. That's coming up when we come back.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday on your Friday. It was a beautiful morning as golfers in Baldwin County made the trip to Alberta for a charity golf tournament. It's all to benefit the Dream Center of Baldwin County. Fox 10 News reporter Stephen Moody takes us to the green.
Golfers in Baldwin County are teeing off for a good cause, all to support the Dream Center. And everyone who came out today say it's worth it. Golfers are putting their clubs to good use at the Soldiers Creek Golf Course in Alberta for the 2nd annual charity tournament to help out the Dream Center of Baldwin County. The center continues to positively impact kids in the Baldwin County area.
We are so grateful for Soldiers Creek and Blake, who puts this on for us and helps us out, because the Dream Center of Baldwin County does such a great work with the youth of our county as a mentoring program and a diversion program, and all these guys that are coming out golfing and women that are coming out golfing to support this cause. DREAM stands for diversion, rehabilitation, education, advocacy, and mentorship. And the center provides support to kids using those principles. And don't just take it from me, we were able to catch up with a success story from the program.
It was just like a mentor for me, honestly. It helped me through a lot more than I thought. It's just a really good guidance, and like the know that you have family, even if you don't feel like it. People are there to help you and just wants to see you succeed. If anything, they just want to see you succeed and do good.
Golfers paid $125 per person and $500 per team. So all that money is going to a great cause to help people just like her.
If anybody can get the opportunity to get into the Dream Center, take that chance, honestly. It's like, you may not like it at first, but it's honestly like you have fun there. Everybody's loving, they're caring. It's like everybody's family.
And for those who weren't able to make it out, you can always donate by going to the Dream Center website. We have a link to that over on our website at fox10tv.com. Reporting here in Alberta, Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
An amazing initiative for sure. Thank you, Stephen. Well, out in the Gulf, the red snapper are back in big numbers, and it's more than researchers have seen in years. Scientists at the University of South Alabama's Stokes School of Marine and Environmental Sciences say it's all due to positive environmental conditions over the years.
The average number now around an artificial reef is about 160 red snapper on one artificial reef, and you can imagine we have over 12,000 of those reefs offshore in Alabama. There's about 7 million red snapper on the Alabama coast right now.
Wow. Well, red snapper season is already underway. It runs 7 days a week throughout the end of June, then switches to weekends starting July 4th. If you're heading out to fish for red snapper, make sure you're up to date on size limits and licensing. You can find all the rules on the Alabama Marine Resources Division website.
Well, taking another look at your forecast, and beautiful outside. What we're starting to see is just some of that sunshine, nice, pleasant conditions down at Pensacola Beach, and just starting to see that yellow flag out there. A few folks getting out and enjoying it, soaking up some of that sunshine. Honestly, not as many people out there as I would have expected for this Friday. Oh, if you look in the distance there, someone's beginning to lose their umbrella. There they go, starting to chase after that umbrella. So make sure that they are fully secure with some of the breezy winds that we're seeing out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures. We're resting in the mid 80s, but the dew points, the humidity, it is in the 70s. So it's feeling muggy out there, feeling more like 90 degrees in Pensacola. Feeling like 97 in Gulf Shores. So it's important, just stay hydrated if you're going to be spending any time outside heading into today, just because we are still going to start to see some of that high humidity leading to those warmer feels like temperatures. Now I'm okay with the winds that we're going to be experiencing down at our local beaches. It's picking up just a little bit. Those winds out of the west-southwest closer towards 10 to 15 miles per hour. But regardless of the direction there and the winds picking up, it's going to be beautiful. The rip current risk low today, tomorrow staying that way heading into the weekend and even the early part of next week. Still, though, make sure that you're being cautious. We've been having some of those water rescues over the past few days, especially around Memorial Day weekend. Our lifeguards here across the Gulf Coast have been hard at work. Just make sure you know what to do if you get caught in that rip current, because they're still out there, even though it's low. And make sure you always know the name of the beach you're located on, where the closest lifeguard stand is. Timing things out in our futurecast. We start off forward this morning. We have that sunshine, a few more clouds beginning to make their way in. And then later on this afternoon, we have the potential for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Random, where they start to develop. So you have a chance at seeing one of these heading into today, but you have higher chances of not seeing it at all. You might just hear some of those rumbles of thunder in the distance. You might see some of those gray, gloomy clouds. More of this coverage begins to pick up later on this evening, just after 7 o'clock. There's that line that we've been looking at across the southeast that moves in. More of those showers and storms begin to pick up for our coastal areas later on this evening. That's 11 p.m. and midnight. So in case you're heading on down towards the beaches for this weekend, you might just see some of those offshore showers and storms. Might make for a nice light show if the majority of that just stays across the Gulf waters. Temperatures today still toasty, mid to upper 80s, even some isolated lower 90s. But with that humidity, it's going to be feeling much warmer out there, feeling more like really the mid to upper 90s out there. Look at that. It wants to get Navarre closer towards those triple digits. Here's the good news, though. Relief is on the way. Dry air is going to begin pushing in, heading into the overnight hours in the wake of those storms that will push in tonight. And so heading into tomorrow morning, look at that. We're starting to dip down into the mid 60s. By 2 a.m., if I took this even further, they drop even more. And so waking up tomorrow morning, it's gonna feel great outside. Spend some time outdoors. Enjoy your cup of coffee out there. Upper 50s for our inland areas. Everywhere else seeing those lower to mid 60s. It's been a while since we felt this nice, this pleasant to begin. So again, get outside, enjoy it. It's going to continue Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to have a Sunday brunch before or after church, it's going to be fantastic out there. But then we quickly rebound heading into next week. You notice those morning temperatures go up, our daytime highs do. We introduce those rain chances. The heat, the humidity comes back. So Saturday, Sunday, get outside and enjoy it. I'm going to talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit. More Fox 10 Midday is on the way. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back. The time is 11:23 on your Friday. President Trump heads to Pittsburgh later today to rally workers and claim a major win, bringing Japan's Nippon Steel to the U.S. while keeping U.S. steel under American control. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the details on the pending deal.
Like its name suggests, U.S. Steel, one of the largest steel manufacturers in the country, will stay under American control, even as it enters a new partnership with its Japanese competitor, Nippon Steel.
It'll be controlled by the United States. Otherwise, I wouldn't make the deal. I went to the unions, to all of the local unions. They all wanted it.
President Trump helped broker the deal, even though he campaigned against it, not wanting a foreign company to overtake an American one. But now he says this agreement will create 70,000 jobs and inject $14 billion into the economy.
We are very, very thankful to the president for reviewing this closely and bringing his business acumen to seeing a great investment for Pennsylvania and for Americans.
Just before leaving office, former President Biden blocked Nippon's bid to buy the company because of national security concerns. This pending deal is a partnership, not a sale.
It'll be a U.S. CEO, a U.S. majority board, and then there'll be a golden share, which will essentially require U.S. government approval of a number of the board members. And that'll allow the United States to ensure production levels aren't cut and things like that.
President Trump's celebration rally kicks off this evening, and he even has support from Democrats on this. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says it's a game changer for the state. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Also this morning, billionaire Elon Musk is getting a big send-off from the White House today as he leaves his job with the Trump administration. And while he may have been frustrated in his efforts to rein in government spending, he'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with President Trump. Posting on Truth Social, the president wrote, quote, "This will be his last day, but not really, because he will always be with us, helping us all along the way. Elon is terrific," end quote. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent defended Musk's work, even if the $1 trillion-plus savings goal never materialized.
I think this is a thing to appease him while he's on the way out the door.
While Musk may continue to play an advisory role at the White House, he's made it clear that he has taken a step back from politics to focus on his business interests, including Tesla. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, why Mount Everest is receiving some criticism. Plus, Volkswagen considers investing more in the U.S. Your business headlines are in just about 3 minutes. But first, Jen, you're tracking some spotty showers today. Nothing too major.
That's exactly right, Ashlyn. Just some spotty shower storms possible heading into the late afternoon this evening. Not too concerned about them for your evening plans. It's going to be hit or miss, random where they start to see them develop. Improvements heading into the rest of the weekend. But heading into tonight, in case you do have any of those plans, keep in mind sunset time, 7:49 in Mobile, 7:46 in Pensacola. And then waking up tomorrow morning, that sunrise, 5:50 to begin in Mobile, 5:47 in Pensacola. But I'm going to be talking more about your forecast and what you can expect the next few days. That's coming up when we come.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back in your business news now. Costco and John Deere work to reduce exposure to tariffs. Beauty products turn out to be inflation-proof. Volkswagen is considering investing more in the U.S. And Elon Musk wraps up his time in Washington. Fox's CJ Papa has those stories and more in today's business headlines.
Costco's $1.50 hot dog deal still stands, and so does customer loyalty. The Warehouse Club chain says its sales rose in the recent quarter, helped by pulling orders forward for summer items. And it has been moving the sourcing of its own products to regions where they are sold. Sales of its private label Kirkland brand outpaced overall sales growth in the recent quarter. Ulta's earnings were upbeat as well. The cosmetics and fragrance retailer is raising its full-year outlook because shoppers keep spending on beauty. Volkswagen says it is holding fair and constructive talks with the U.S. government on tariffs and is considering further massive investments in the U.S. Reports in Germany say CEO Oliver Blume is discussing producing some Audi models in the U.S., though it was considering doing that even before the current Trump administration took over. Deere & Company tells the Wall Street Journal it is looking at various ways to work around tariffs. The farm equipment maker is considering tweaking its supply chain and raising prices. Though Deere says once a customer places an order, the company honors the price. And back to business. Now that his time with Doge has come to an end, Elon Musk is heading back to the office, planning to spend more time on Tesla AI and space ventures. In just 130 days, he saved $175 billion, which is more than $1,000 per taxpayer. But his work won't stop there. Now he's focusing on his mission to Mars, which Musk is predicting will be before the end of next year. CJ Papa, Fox News.
All right, listen to this. Starbucks announces a big change to its reward system. Starbucks says starting June 24th, it's changing its reward point system overall. The coffee giant is reconfiguring points for customers who use their own cups. So Starbucks says it will no longer offer 25 bonus stars for every order placed with reusable cups. Instead, customers will receive double stars on the entire order. But there's a catch. It'll cost you $12.50 minimum to get them. As of now, you get 25 stars for any sized order. Starbucks says the changes benefit bigger orders, which will pile up more bonus star points. Starbucks is trying to restructure its deals in order to raise those profits. Also this morning, Haribo has recalled bags of its fizzy cola bottles in the Netherlands after cannabis was found in some of them. According to the Netherlands Food and Consumer Product Safety Authority, Dutch police began investigating when several people, including children, got sick after eating the candy. The recalled products are the 2.2-pound bags of Haribo Happy Cola Fizz and have a best before date of January 2026. Haribo is calling this a precautionary measure as only 3 bags were found to be contaminated as of Thursday. The company says its products in other countries, including the United States, though, are not affected. Well, it's time to check your pantry. The Agriculture Department's Food and Safety and Inspection Service has issued a recall. Hormel Foods Corporation is recalling more than 256,000 pounds of canned beef stew products. Now, according to the USDA, the 20-ounce metal cans of Dinty Moore beef stew might be contaminated with wood. The product was produced on February 4th, 2025, with a best by February 2028 date. Now, the items were shipped to retailers nationwide. There have been at least 3 complaints of wood pieces in the product. However, no confirmed injuries have yet been reported.
Taking another look at your forecast, and wow, I wish I was here right now. A stunning view outside. Can you guess where it is? Crab Island down in Destin, looking beautiful. Quite a few boats out there for this Friday. A lot of folks getting out and enjoying it. So in case this is inspiring you, like it is myself, it is going to be beautiful to take the boat out, go kayaking, head on out towards the beach or even the pool heading into this weekend. And especially what we can all celebrate is some lower humidity, not feeling as sticky out there. Let's take a live look at conditions across the southeast. I've been mentioning some of those rain chances that we have heading into today. There's that line that's moving through Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, down into Texas. It's not the most organized look. It's really just more of that scattered. It's falling apart. It's not looking that great. And that's what we like to see, especially as it's going to be moving closer towards us heading into this afternoon and this evening. And in the wake of it, it's bringing in some dry air. It's going to be feeling so much better. Here's a look at what we're tracking out there right now, though, just starting to see some of those calm, quiet conditions. But let's time it out for when it comes closer. We will start to introduce some more of those clouds heading into today. Some of these clouds could look gray. We have that high humidity. That's just what they typically like to do. When it's high humidity, it's muggy. They don't feel the best. They want to look gray out there. More of those showers and storms begin to pop up heading into the early part of this afternoon. Random where they develop, some frequent lightning, gusty winds, heavy downpours, all possible. Something that we're used to with some of these storms, especially in the summertime. And then there's that line, even more broken apart by the time it approaches towards us by 7 o'clock. So where some of those storms still hold together, again, unfortunately random. It's really just going to be dependent upon your location. You could get away with seeing some of those showers or storms today. You could get away with not seeing anything. Again, all dependent upon location. By 11 o'clock, more of that cloud cover. There's those storms pushing offshore. Clear skies just closer towards northern Mississippi. That'll move in just in time for tomorrow. Before we get there, temperatures today maxing out upper 80s, lower 90s, still feeling much warmer due to the muggy conditions, feeling more like the mid to upper 90s. But look at this. Just wait for it. There's that dry air that pushes in. Heading into Saturday and Sunday, dew points in the pleasant category. It's going to feel great. You will mainly notice this in the mornings. Step outside. Take the dog for a walk. Take the kids to the park earlier in the day. Drink your coffee out there again. It's going to be feeling so nice. Have some breakfast or brunch outdoors. This humidity being low in our summertime months, that is something to celebrate and get outside and enjoy, because you already start to see that rebound taking place heading into the early part of next week. The rip current risk at our local beaches low today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. It's looking beautiful out there. And then as we check in on the tropics, things are calm, they're quiet, no new development expected over the next 7 days. But please be cautious what you see on social media. Just a reminder, I'm already seeing the doom and gloom posts. All those posters, they want the clicks, they want the shares, they want the comments, because the more scary they make it look, the bigger payout they get by your interactions with those posts. Please be cautious. Again, I'm already seeing all of that. If there's anything that you need to know, we will alert you. If you look at the timestamp on some of those models and it's over 10 days out, put it in the trash. No reason to give it any attention. Here's a look at what we're tracking in the Atlantic, and it's going to be some Saharan dust. It's been a while since we've talked about this. A big plume is going to be coming off of the African coast there, pushing into the Caribbean. If you know anyone that's going to take a vacation anytime soon to the Caribbean, just give them a heads up. It's nothing bad. It's just if their allergies flare up, if they have more of those asthmatic symptoms, this is going to be the cause for that. And we're going to start to introduce some of that towards us heading into next week. We like Saharan dust because it keeps the Atlantic tropical basin at bay. Thunderstorms, they don't like Saharan dust, so that's why it helps stop some of that development. But next week, we will start to see some of that move in, so allergies may flare up next weekend. This is June 6th, that timestamp. But also, we can have some vibrant sunsets. I'm excited for that. It really brings in some of those bright, beautiful colors. So keep that in mind for next weekend. Here's a look what I'm tracking over the next 7 days. We quickly enter back into our summertime pattern midweek next week. I'll talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. Well, a new study out now says wildfire smoke can lead to long-lasting health effects. The report found people exposed to wildfire smoke had an increased risk of hospitalization for heart or lung problems up to 3 months after the smoke cleared. Researchers say the effects of even a small fire lasting just a few days could also lead to long-lasting health impacts. And the risk increases as the amount of smoke pollution rises. The study analyzed hospitalization records for residents of 15 states between 2006 and 2016. The study included more than 13.7 million hospitalizations for heart disease and nearly 8 million for respiratory conditions. High blood pressure was the health condition most significantly impacted by the smoke. Others included heart disease, stroke, irregular heart rhythms, pneumonia, COPD, and asthma. Those findings appear in the journal Epidemiology. Well, renowned for its sheer size and might, Mount Everest is its own force of nature. And while hiking experts have long revered this sacred peak, criticism is growing over unfavorable conditions climbers say puts themselves and the mountain at risk.
Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. But the future of this iconic landmark and the safety of future climbers are growing gloomy. This as hikers continue expressing frustration over dirty and crowded conditions.
It has become too commercialized.
Looking to make a difference, Nepal's government addressed those concerns this week at a special conference, citing their duty to protect the Himalayas from climate change and the impact of humans. Last year, government officials funded a team to remove 24,000 pounds of garbage from Everest. The Everest climbing season ends this month. This year, a little under 500 people from 57 countries were given permits to go. Each one costs $11,000 and is good for 90 days.
The feeling is that if there is money, then Everest can be climbed. But not all the people there are physically and emotionally ready to climb the peak. That is being disrespectful to Everest.
Critics say inexperienced people can put lives at risk and create traffic jams on the mountain.
It can be controlled, but what we need to do is make sure that those amount of people are all experienced in the mountaineering world.
Meanwhile, as collective minds explored possible solutions, celebrations Thursday honor the 72nd year since a hiker from New Zealand and his Sherpa became the first people to reach the summit of Everest back in 1953. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
Fox 10 is once again partnering with Franklin Primary Health Care and offering free health screenings. It all coincides with Men's Health Awareness Month, which begins June 1st. The screenings include blood pressure checks, glucose checks, dental exams, and prostate exams. Now, the first free health screening will take place at Franklin Primary Health Center on Thursday, June 5th, starting at 8 a.m. Then the next day, there will be screenings at the Fox 10 studios, also starting at 8. If you want more information, you can visit our website, fox10tv.com. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, a boulder avalanche pins a man down for hours, threatening his life. But he says he has one person to thank for saving him. Plus, now this is a sweet story. A pair of bat-eared foxes have a new home across the pond.
So Britain's Chester Zoo released video of the female siblings, Masai and Melindy. Melindy, who arrived from a zoo in Paris a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's the first time in more than 30 years that the zoo has hosted the threatened African native species, who are actually named after their distinctive oversized ears. As you can tell, they're huge.
I know, would have guessed that. Well, zoo officials say their big ears work as satellite dishes, helping the foxes detect even the smallest of movements from insects.
Pretty cool. The sisters have been busy exploring their new home, which they share with a family of 12 Cape porcupines, which they would have encountered in the wild.
Zoo experts say they plan to introduce one of them to a male fox as part of a conservation breeding program to protect the species.
How neat. Bat-eared foxes usually live in the grasslands of eastern and southern Africa, but they do face increasing threats of extinction due to agriculture, hunting, and human encroachment. They're cute.
I want one.
They're so sweet.
I like seeing them on the prowl.
Yes, foxes are my favorite animal because of Fox and the Hound.
Oh,
that was my favorite movie growing up. And they don't really look like the fox on Fox and the Hound, but they are cute.
Adorable.
Love it. Well, listen to this wild story. A boulder avalanche pins a man down for hours, threatening his life, and he finds out his real rock of salvation is in his faith.
So 61-year-old Kel Morris and his wife, former Alaska State Trooper Joe Roop, took a hike to avoid crowds during the holidays on the Kenai Peninsula.
They set out on an undeveloped trail with large boulders near Godwin Glacier.
Morris then found himself in an unpassable area and slipped and then fell, starting a rock avalanche with a 700-pound boulder coming down on him.
I can't even imagine. He was pinned down in rising waters for, listen to this, 3 hours.
His wife set out to find a signal to send GPS coordinates to rescuers.
Volunteers helped round up rescuers, including a National Guard helicopter swooping in with a rescue basket, as you can tell in that video right there.
Morris described the life-threatening venture, knowing divine help was part of his rescue.
You know, in Alaska, people don't usually survive that. So I was very lucky. You know, God was looking out for me, put me in, you know, a little wake-up call to stop doing that at my age, but at the same time, you know, took care of me.
Miraculously, Morris came away with only minor injuries. Wow.
The fact that he was able to stay calm, it seems, while he was waiting on people to get him is incredible.
I know, and then his wife being able to focus on it, find the signal to rising waters. Luckily, no bears.
Yeah.
That would be my concern, too, out in Alaska.
True.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you been to Alaska?
Oh, yes.
Would you do something like this?
Not alone. I would not hike alone. I have seen the bears. I've seen the moose. But Alaska is my favorite place ever.
Still hike
pretty
alone.
much. Yeah, I'll hike with a crew.
Moral of the story.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, don't hike alone. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our forecast. And the good news is that we have better conditions on the way. And so if you want to stay updated with everything that's going on, you can download our Fox 10 weather app. That way you are staying updated with the forecast. We do have this built-in radar, which is going to be real handy heading into tonight when we have the potential for some of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Plus, also it has a 6-hour futurecast option built in, so you can help just time out some of those rain chances for your location. But let's go ahead and dive deeper into what I'm tracking out there. And we have better conditions on the way. We just have to get through Friday. Now, it's not going to be terrible out there, but it's going to be warm in comparison to what we have heading into tomorrow and Sunday. Daytime highs maxing out mid to upper 80s out there. But you have to keep in mind the humidity, the feels like temperatures. Those are going to be even warmer, feeling more like the 90s out there. I wouldn't even be surprised to see some of those triple digits closer towards our coastal areas by the time we get further along into this afternoon. Main takeaway here, stay hydrated, take breaks, get creative with how you're going to cool down. But look at this. Heading into tonight, those dew points will start to dip down. Those rain chances that we have moving into this evening, it's going to be that cold front that's moving in. And so we're going to have dry air pushing in behind it. It's going to feel great starting off for tomorrow morning. And so as you're stepping outside, enjoy it. Take a walk tomorrow morning. Take the dog out, the kids to the the park, enjoy your cup of coffee out there, brunch, anything that you can do to get outside, because it's going to be feeling nice. It's going to be feeling crisp. And so we'll have those pleasant conditions for Saturday and Sunday sticking around. So spend some time outdoors, plus those daytime highs also take a little bit of a downward trend. I'm excited for it. A beautiful weekend ahead of us. I'm going to talk more about your forecast and what I'm tracking in long range. That's coming up in just a little bit. But for right now, a live view outside down on Dauphin Island, looking beautiful. We'll be right back after this.
I have an incredible story for you now. At 103 years old, the centenarian schedule is packed to the brim. In addition to bowling every week, she plays ukulele, golf, paints, and can still do aerobics. Elise Martinez has this story.
At 103 years old, Frances Wong is by far the most senior member of the San Gabriel Valley Nikkei Senior Bowling League.
I'm the oldest one in any place. Every place I'm the oldest.
But Wong holds her own, next to teammates like Rick Mark, who is 33 years younger.
It's just wonderful that she is still out here. Everybody says, I want to do that when I get that age.
Wong was born in downtown LA in 1922. She drove herself and lived on her own in Koreatown until 2022. Now Wong lives with her son Harry in Whittier and is keeping him very busy.
Always on the go. She's just free. I think that's the reason why she lives so long. Nothing bothers her.
Wong's tireless schedule would make anyone want to take a nap. Besides bowling every Friday at Bolero in Montebello, Wong plays ukulele on Saturdays and golfs 18 holes on Tuesdays. Watercoloring and aerobics are also on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm busy every day. I try to get up every day and do something worthwhile. I don't like to sit around. I like to keep moving.
And she moves with ease, keeping up with her great-grandchildren.
I don't feel like I'm 103. I just got good health. I just keep on plugging along.
Wong is not only the oldest bowler here, she's arguably the most cheerful, always laughing and having a good time. And that, she says, is better than getting a strike any day. Wong says her secret is not what she eats or drinks, but how she lives her life.
No stress and just go on, live and be happy.
In Montebello, Elise Martinez, KCAL News.
Wow, that is incredible.
I love that.
I love
You
her
go,
advice.
Wong.
Yes, her advice. She said no stress, be happy. Her family said nothing bothers her.
Yep.
I think that really might be the secret to living a peaceful, healthy life.
That really is something to keep in
So
mind.
cool.
Proud of her.
Yes.
Definitely not looking 103.
No, that's crazy.
Wow. Well, let's go ahead and talk more about your forecast. And so timing things out, again, we have those rain chances heading into tonight. It's going to be isolated where we start to see some of these develop. They begin to fire off really after around 3 o'clock. Heavy downpours, some frequent lightning, even some gusty winds possible within any of these is possible because it's summertime here on the Gulf Coast. We're so used to that. But then more of those will continue to come into play later on this evening. This is later. This is after sunset when this front finally begins to move through. It's really broken apart. Some areas really might not see anything. It begins to pick up a little bit of that traction once it moves into our offshore waters. So you might see that light show in case you're down on towards our coastal spots if you look out over the Gulf waters heading into tonight. But we do have that 40% for today. Again, decent chance you don't see anything. In the wake of this system, dry air moves in. It's going to be feeling great this weekend. Spend some time outside, the mornings especially. That's when you'll notice it. And then we keep talking about it. June 1st is on Sunday. I can't believe it. Already entering into a brand new month.
Yes, tomorrow's the last day of May. Enjoy it. I guess we'll see everyone next month, technically.
Yes, you're exactly right. We'll see everyone next month.
Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you on Fox 10 Live at 3 p.m.